For decades, a shadow haunted the wealthiest neighborhoods of America. Mansions stood as silent targets. Priceless jewels, stacks of cash, irreplaceable artifacts, vanishing into thin air. No forced entry, no witnesses. Just an eerie emptiness where fortunes once lay. They called him a ghost, a phantom, the Hollywood Burglar, and his heists were the stuff of legend. This wasn't smash and grab. This was meticulous, calculated, almost artistic. This wasn't the work of a desperate criminal. This was someone who understood security, who studied his targets, who moved like he wasn't even there. From the 1960s all the way into the 2000s, this enigmatic figure baffled law enforcement across multiple states. His targets were the elite, celebrities, business moguls, individuals living behind layers of wealth and security. Yet he slipped through their defenses time and time again. What made him so elusive? Was it luck or something far more intricate? Detectives were left scratching their heads. There were no consistent patterns in the timing, the locations, or even the items stolen, beyond their high value. It was as if the burglar was picking targets on a whim. But little did they know, there was a meticulous method to this seeming madness, a complex puzzle they were only just beginning to unravel. Years turned into decades. The Hollywood Burglar became an almost mythical figure. Some whispered he was a former Spetsnaz operative. Others believed he was a disgruntled security expert. The reality was far more surprising. Our phantom thief wasn't some suave international spy. He was Carl Gugasian, a man who, on the surface, seemed ordinary. But beneath that facade lay a brilliant, albeit twisted mind. Gugasian wasn't just breaking into homes. He was conducting a decades-long experiment. He meticulously researched his targets, sometimes for months, studying their routines, their security flaws. He was a master of disguise, a phantom who could blend into any environment. And his motivation? Not just the thrill of the steal, but the intellectual challenge of outsmarting the system. For decades, Gugasian left virtually no trace. But as forensic science advanced, so did the pressure on these cold cases. Tiny fragments of evidence, overlooked for years, began to tell a story. A partial fingerprint here, a fiber of clothing there. The puzzle, though incredibly complex, was starting to reveal its edges. The key breakthrough, however, wasn't found at a crime scene. It was during a seemingly unrelated investigation into a series of burglaries with a very different MO. But something about the suspect caught the attention of seasoned investigators, a level of planning and execution that felt familiar. Investigators started digging deeper into this new suspect. They looked at his past, his connections, his habits, and a startling picture began to emerge. This wasn't just another burglar. This was someone with an uncanny understanding of high-security environments, someone who seemed to have been honing his skills for years. Could this seemingly unrelated criminal be the ghost they had been hunting for so long? The timeline lined up. The level of sophistication matched. And then came the crucial piece of the puzzle. A distinctive, almost signature method of operation that linked the new crimes directly back to the legendary Hollywood Burglar. The ghost was finally starting to materialize. After decades in the shadows, the net began to close. Law enforcement meticulously tracked their suspect, piecing together his movements, his routines. The man who had been so careful, so elusive for so long, was finally within their grasp. The arrest of Carl Gugasian sent shockwaves through the law enforcement community and the wealthy enclaves he had targeted for so long. The phantom was real, and the scope of his crimes was staggering. Millions of dollars in stolen goods, spanning decades, across multiple states. As the investigation unfolded, the true extent of Gugasian's brilliance and audacity became clear. He wasn't just a thief. He was a master strategist. He had even developed elaborate codes and methods to track his stolen goods. The man who seemed like a ghost had left an intricate web of secrets behind him. The Hollywood Burglar was finally unmasked, The decades-long puzzle was solved, and the answer was more complex and fascinating than anyone could have imagined. While Carl Gugasian's capture brought a sense of closure to countless victims and frustrated investigators, the legend of the Hollywood burglar continues to fascinate. How did one man remain undetected for so long? What drove him to orchestrate such elaborate heists? This wasn't just about stolen riches. It was about a man who tested the limits of security, who danced in the shadows for decades, and whose story serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the most brilliant criminals are the ones you never even see coming. What did you find most surprising about the story of the Hollywood burglar? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Crime Puzzle for more incredible true crime stories, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next investigation. Thanks for watching.